Gentlemen, stop creating obstacles in front of yourself. Most of the time, the reason why you can't go out there and actually accomplish something isn't because it's difficult to accomplish. It's because you're making it harder than you should. You are. Most things, if you had a plan of action and you executed on that plan consistently, you can achieve. If there's a plan and there's a methodology on how to execute that plan and you do it long enough, you will achieve that goal. But we like to complicate things. We like to dig into the plan further and try and come up with an even better plan. And we try and find reasons as to why it won't work out. I don't know, maybe some of you guys come from an engineering background or a law background. You want to just make sure the documentation aspect of things is spot on and I won't execute unless it's perfect. Dumb it down and do it. Dan Pena, I don't know if many of you guys have heard of him, but Dan Pena talks about dumbing it down and doing it. In the world of trading, whether it's stocks or FX, usually those that struggle the most in terms of becoming consistently profitable are people that come from backgrounds of higher education. Maybe they did a master's and a PhD in chemical engineering or a PhD in law or some shit like that. They overcomplicate it, these people. They have the false misconception that the more they learn, the better they'll be. No, sometimes the more you learn, the worse you'll be. Not because information is bad, but because there is such thing as too much information too soon. You overwhelm yourself. Your brain's like, well, you know what? This shit is complicated. Fuck it. So dumb it down. Make it as simple as bloody possible. This doesn't just apply to those of you that want to start a business. Even if you want to learn an instrument, let's just say. I know there are books that will teach you how to play the saxophone or the piano, whatever, but the best way I see it is just play the damn piano. The theory is helpful to an extent, but you've got to do the damn thing. Even in relation to getting out of debt. You don't need a sophisticated plan. Just attack the smaller debts first. Get rid of them so there's less of the debts in terms of the amounts that you owe to different companies. There's less now. Now you can then consolidate the larger debts. But usually it's a lot more doable tackling the problem than you make it out to be in your own mind. Your mind's like, man, this is a nightmare. We can't do nothing about this. We always focus on the worst case scenario. It's interesting, the human mind. We really fixate on the worst case. But change the way you look at the worst case. Instead of thinking, oh my God, how am I going to achieve this? Tell yourself, man, the worst case scenario is if I never do this. I'll always wonder, what if? What if? What if? A completely different life could have come into fruition had I began 20 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. But instead I decided not to because I thought it was too difficult. Nothing is too difficult. It's just new. I've spoken about this in countless videos. It's not hard. It's new. That's all it is. Stop using limiting words to keep yourself in a box. You're containing yourself in a box when you say, oh God, this trading thing, too difficult. No, you've just never fucking done it before. But if you have a plan of action, you start learning, maybe you buy a course, you start implementing what the course teaches you, you start gathering your own feedback through back testing the market, for example. You start seeing, oh, this is working. Let me test it on a live market. Oh, it's working. Nice. Let me refine my strategy. Let me make sure that my risk management's good. Great. Then you can start seeing the results for yourself. And then later on down the line, you're like, hang on a second, that wasn't so bad. Is it easy? No. Nothing is quote unquote easy, but it's certainly not hard. Certainly isn't. And you might even surprise yourself. You might find that you're able to grasp concepts a lot quicker than you thought. Oh, this is coming quite naturally to me. I'm picking this up. Man, it's a shame. I mean, I struggled with this for years. This belief system of, oh man, the plan's got to be right, man. Otherwise, how am I going to win? The competition's so much and this, and it's saturated. And I was just coming up with bullshit reasons. I was just deep down inside, I was just scared of losing. That's what it is. And when I developed my relationship with failure into a healthy relationship, now I don't see failure as quote unquote losing. No. Failure in my books now is giving up on me. Not on the specific business model, because that's another problem. You might think, oh, well, I've been doing dropshipping for 2 years. It hasn't really been very fruitful for me. If I consider a different line of work, I'm a failure now. No. As long as the ambition is still there and you want to do well for yourself, you're not a failure. A failure is, you know what, I guess I'll just have to stick to my regular job. You know, who was I to even think of possibly achieving great things? You know, that head down approach, hands in your pocket, kicking rocks, deflated mannerisms. That's failure. But brushing yourself off and saying, you know what, that was a good learning experience. And I'm sure that I'll continue to do well in the future. I'll find my thing. Not worrying about the specifics of how am I going to find my thing. This is the problem. The how does not matter, gentlemen, as much as you think it does. No one knows exactly how the future will pan out. No one. That's what makes it exciting. Look at it as exciting, not as, you know, fear-inducing. No, it's exciting, man. I don't know where the future is going to take me, but I'm going to show up every single day. I'm going to put in a solid shift. I'm going to learn as much as possible. I'm going to network with great people. I'm going to do absolutely everything in my power to win. And we'll see where that takes me. Optimism. Being optimistic doesn't mean that you're naive. It doesn't mean that you're naive. It just means that you choose to believe in a prosperous future. Because what is life if you wake up every single day dreading the day? What kind of a life is that? It's almost like sleep becomes an escape. People that truly love their life, they don't really want to go to sleep because they just want to stay awake and do the things that they love to do. But obviously you have to sleep. So sleep for those people isn't an escape, it's just rest. But for people that hate their life, sleep becomes like an escape. It's a period where they're unconscious and are not worrying about their problems. And then when they wake up, the worries start again. What kind of a life is that, man? Come on. Look, we all go through stressful periods, but you have the power to change things. It won't happen overnight. But a year from now, things can look a lot better than they do right now. Trust me. I've been there, man. I've had days where I thought, man, the future's just going to be bleak. It's going to be dark, man. I don't know how the fuck I'm going to get out of this mess that I'm in. I don't know where the hell I'm going. But I chose to become optimistic. Because I told myself, Ali, what's pessimism going to yield? What kind of a return on investment will pessimism bring me? Negative ROI. It makes you worse because you are stressed. If you believe that your future's fucked, you're going to wake up every single day stressed. That's not good for your health. That in turn will lead to other things, such as maybe poor nutrition habits. You start eating like shit. Maybe you start drinking, smoking. You want something to distract you. And that will start a whole spiral of poor habits. So I decided, no, I'm going to wake up every single day expecting to have a great day. I'm not going to stress about the how-to. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do everything in my power. I'm going to learn as much as possible. I'm going to execute on the knowledge that I've acquired. I'm going to network with people. And you know what? The rest is to God. That's it. I'm not going to live in fear. What kind of a life is that? No. The key, gentlemen, is take massive amounts of action. Believe me, action just has this miraculous anxiety curing ability. It really does. And the reason why it does is because we as men need to be in a constant state of motion. We're like sharks. We need to keep swimming. If we stop swimming, we drown. That's when the negative thoughts start brewing in our mind. You're shit. You ain't going to achieve nothing in the future. Nobody believes in you. And it's a recipe for disaster. But when you keep swimming and you're like, yeah, I've got to do this. I'm going to call this guy and I'm working. You're doing everything in your power. And a regular job is not bad. As long as it's moral, legal, and ethical what you're doing. Man, whether you're cleaning, whether you're working in a factory, whether you're a waiter at a restaurant, that's fantastic, man. You're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of the core responsibilities that you need to as a man. You're feeding yourself. You've put in a roof over your head. You're able to drive. And then you have to start thinking, right, how am I going to get myself out of this position that I'm in? What do I need to do? Who do I need to meet? What books do I need to buy? And then from there, it's a fucking consistency game. Every single day. You got a plan, attack that plan. It doesn't have to be a fucking perfect plan. It doesn't. It doesn't have to be a bloody 500-page book. No. Okay, this is what I want to do. Right. I've got a course. Let me do everything the course tells me. Go out there, get your own feedback. Be in a state of action consistently. Why is it we don't go to the gym for a week and then stop and then expect the results to come? Why don't we do that? Why is it we go to the gym pretty much every day, or at least we should be, gentlemen, right? Why? Because you know that if you don't use it, you lose it. You have to go to the gym to keep taking care of your physical condition. If you stop, you don't retain the physique you've got right now. You become worse. Inactivity will lead to self-destruction. A building that's left alone for 50 years isn't going to be in the same condition. It won't be. It needs regular maintenance. You know, it's going to take some work, gentlemen. It really is. But you shouldn't shy away from it. The burden of performance is on our shoulders, but we must embrace it as men. This is our responsibility. We're going to go out there. We're going to take care of ourselves and our families. If I don't have the answers, I will find the answers. I'm going to be resourceful. I'm not going to blame it on the resources. Well, I don't have enough money. I don't have this. I don't have that. No. No more excuses. I'm fully accountable now for where I am. When was the last time you were fully accountable? Where you looked in the mirror and said, yeah, where you are right now in life is because of you. You cannot blame your mum. You can't blame your brother for not giving you money. You can't blame nobody. Where you are in life right now is because of you. The decisions or lack of decisions you've made in the past. So in order to change that, I must change. I cannot be the old schmo and expect to have a different life. No. I've got to be a totally different person. The old me has to die. Let's do this, gents. Pull the trigger. Remember this, and I'm going to end on this. Action will take you out of doubt, and doubt will take you out of action. Keep fucking swimming. You're a shark. If you keep swimming, sure enough, you're going to spot some opportunities. You're going to spot some prey. If you stop swimming, you sink. Or float. I don't know what fucking happens when a shark dies, right? I think it sinks. But you get the fucking point. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give this video a like, comment, let me know what you think down below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. See you in the next one.